Hi there, it's Tim, and today I'm going to be doing a comparison today between the 010 and the EMove Cruiser. And let me just show you the 010 because that's the one I'm going to be riding to kick off this comparison. Alrighty, so here we are. Here's the 010. Very smart looking. This one's actually got some off-road tires, which is an extra in case that was of interest to you. It has a 52 volt 18 amp hour battery. It weighs about 52 pounds, so fairly easy to fold at the stem and lift up. It's got a maximum speed of 50 kilometers an hour and a range of about 45 to 60 kilometer range. It does have really nice 10-inch tires, as I mentioned right now, and these are the off-road slash regular road tires, but these are interesting. I like them. They're so far so good. They're quite comfortable. It does have pneumatic tires, not tubeless. There's a tube inside, and front and rear. I'm going to flip the scooter around to show you the front and rear hydraulic brakes, and it also has regenerative braking. Up top, the typical Zero style controller. Really easy. If I was going to click on the mode, I'm going to be able to change through 1, 2, and 3 level, and then if I want to turn the power to the lights on, I just press this all the way down and that'll turn my lights on. Hold that down and there's the light. Obviously it's the middle of the day right now. It's beautiful sunny weather right here in beautiful Victoria. I'm just going to take it for that boot. I'm going to take it up a really nice steep hill and show you guys what it's like, how it performs, and then I'm going to compare it to the EMove Cruiser. So yeah, if you're interested in that, make sure you hit like on the video if you really do like the video, and also really enjoy these types of videos, and you have questions about the EMove or the 010, write them down in the comments down below. I do actually respond to every single comment. Very grateful. We did hit 1,000 views, so thank you if you've already subscribed. Thank you very much. Anyway, without further ado, let's get on the trail. So sadly, the 010 wasn't able to get up the hill here. It's a very steep hill, but we'll see how the EMove fares. Alrighty, so what do I like so far? Well, I'm really accustomed to the 010 because I have the 09 that I ride quite often as my daily rider, as it were. Let me just show you. I'm always a big fan of the lights, so that's why I'm down here in Chinatown in one of the alleyways. And the deck size, I have big feet, and the deck size for me is totally plenty of room for 2 feet, so that's good. The display is really clear, especially at night, but during the daytime, even in full sun. And the suspension is really quite smooth. It just feels like a little bit bigger than a 09, but the suspension, as I said, very smooth. And the brakes, the added on the 09, it has a drum brake at the back, but this one, the 010, actually has the hydraulic brakes at the back, which I've got to say I really like the extra stopping power that presents. Overall, absolutely fabulous machine. Highly recommend, and I'm going to just continue on with my cruise. But first thoughts, also just as an observation, if you're interested, I've already done a complete review of the 010, so this is more of a comparison. So I'm going to continue on my route and swap out for the next scooter. Alrighty, so brass tacks, big guy review time. For city work, for city riding, I think this is actually a really good scooter. It's with my weight, I'm a big guy. I'm 6 feet. I'm about 278 pounds, and to be able to, go up the hills, it doesn't attack the hills. It's not going to go up the hills going full tilt. Typically, I like to ride at about 30 to 35 kilometers an hour at the most, and this has on flat ground no problem whatsoever. It hits 35. 38, 40, 37 all the way along, no problem whatsoever. On some of the steeper hills, it's going to drop down to that 18 to 22 kilometers an hour, which I think is respectable. But it's in no way, it's not like one of these bigger scooters that I've been reviewing as of late. But when comparing to the EMove Cruiser, well, we'll find out. I'm going to take this back to Ride the Glide, and thank you, Ride the Glide, for lending me the scooters today. Let me just show you the scooter. As I mentioned, back in Chinatown, the lights are terrific, especially in the evening. Same with the 09s. The brakes on this are really quite formidable and really handy. The ride quality is excellent, really comfortable. These extra tires, these extra off-road / street tire option, actually I think that's really good. If you're thinking of doing any kind of trail rides as well, I think that makes a whole lot of sense. The 1000-watt motor at the back, plenty of power. So I think I'll just continue on and take this back now. Alrighty, so here we have the EMove Cruiser and the 600-watt motor. It's at the back, and it's got the brakes on this are actually also really powerful and strong, front and back. Suspension at the front is really smooth. Road tires on this particular model. At the top, let me just flip it around and I'll show you. But the this little thing here is actually just a little extra. If you're buying the EMove Cruiser from RTG, ask them about this, because you might be able to get a free one with that. It does have, as I said, it's a 600-watt motor at the back, 52 volts, 30 amp hour battery, which means that battery underneath here is an absolute beast. And what it allows you to do, even with a big guy like me apparently, is get you to about 50 miles or 80 kilometers without a problem. I've had guys who are much smaller than me hit 100 kilometers already on this thing, so that's pretty incredible. 45 kilometer an hour top speed. It weighs about 52 pounds, so it's still totally fine for picking up and putting in the trunk of your car, or carrying it up a few sets of steps. One of the other benefits, of course, with this particular one that I think is a real benefit are the Tubeless Pneumatic tires at the back. These are 10-inch Tubeless Pneumatic tires, and as I mentioned earlier, the springs are hydraulic coil springs. Anywho, I'm going to take this out now for a spin and cruise around the exact same route that I did with the 010. I've actually already done a full review of the EMove Cruiser, and if you're interested in that, I'll put that link right up here. And yeah, well, anyways, let's just go for a spin and see what we like, see what we don't like, and go from there. Next up, the hill test. Alrighty, well, we got about 3/4 of the way up this time on the EMove Cruiser. Basically the same as the 010. It just choked out at the top here, so anyway, just thought I'd share that with you. So the one thing I really like about both scooters is they have the telescopic handles. Just let me show you a few things on this EMove as well. The telescopic handle on both is really easy. Just clip it up and Now on the EMove, I noticed that the breakdown mechanism, that is when you want to fold it down, it's quite a bit more robust. Great big piece of metal. It just feels and looks a little bit more solid. The actual display, it's actually very clear, easy to read. Not quite as clear as the 0 voltmeter. I always think these things are a bit odd, but you know, it tells you how much voltage you've got left, which is sort of an easier way, if you like, to figure out how much battery life you've got. The way that you actually change the let's see if I can get this right there. The way you change gears on the EMove Cruiser is a bit odd. You press the power button and it flashes, and then you press the mode button. Not as easy as the 0, that's for sure, but not impossible. Just, well, I tend to just leave it on number 3 anyway, so press that back. On the left hand side, we actually have indicators and a light, so I'm just going to put the light on, and in this little alleyway, nice big light, very powerful light actually. And it's got something interesting which I never get the hang of, which is it's actually got indicators, so you can actually at the back turn your indicators on. And there's also a horn, but it's Sunday morning, so I'm not going to be pressing the horn to let you know what that sounds like. Maybe I'll do that on the road. Anyway, I'll just keep going. So far, so good. Alright, I'm back at the International Marina, and that's a lovely scooter as well. They're both exceptional. 1000 watts on the 0, 600 watts on the EMove means that for a big guy like myself, the EMove doesn't go quite as fast. It seems like it's about 3 or 4 kilometers an hour slower than the 010. Suspension. The suspension actually on the EMove, I think, is quite a bit better. It's a much smoother experience going over, you know, the bumps that you're going to find in a typical city, the grates and you know, the cracks. When I go over the big bridge, for example, the cracks there are much more comfortable on the EMove Cruiser. The brakes, I found the brakes a little softer, but that might just be a setting issue. It might just be that the brakes on the EMove have to be adjusted for that. Acceleration wise, I didn't think there was a whole lot in it. The hill torture test, both of them failed at about the halfway to 3/4 way mark. But you know, that's to be expected. It's a brutal hill. So far, the only ones that get up there are the big Cabos and Dualtrons and the 11X and stuff like that. They have no problem getting up it. But these little smaller motor scooters are going to struggle. Single motor scooters. The deck size on this, let me just show you. The deck size on the EMove is a little bit bigger. So for these big feet of mine, no problems getting 2 feet on there. And of course, with that bigger deck, there's a huge battery, which means that the overall cruising range of the EMove is significantly bigger and significantly longer, significantly further than the 010. Alrighty, brass tacks. So which one do you choose? Well, if you're a big guy like me, and I live in a city and I don't have to go up huge hills all the time, I actually would have no doubt about which one I would choose. I would choose the EMove Cruiser. I think the range of it is significantly better. The comfort, riding comfort is terrific. The braking's adequate. I think it's probably, as I said, probably adjustable so that it could even be more aggressive. And the overall quality and build, I think they're both exceptional in that regard. I have no problems. I do say, though, that the tubeless pneumatic tires in the EMove Cruiser gives me a level of confidence that I'm probably not going to get a flat tire, if that makes any sense. So I think that helps. And yeah, so I would say EMove Cruiser. If you're a big guy like myself and you live in a city and they're similarly priced, it's a little bit more money. If you can swing the little bit more money for the EMove Cruiser, I think you're going to be happy with that. So anyway, that's my 2 cents. Put down what you think down below. Like, comment, and yeah, let me know what you think, what I should be doing for the next videos. Cheers. Just as an aside, I was riding back over the bridge, and it occurred to me that the 010, if you're thinking of doing any kind of off-roading or trail rides and things like that, I think you're going to probably be happier with the 010. You can put some nice tires on there, put some sort of semi-off-road tires if you like on there, and I think you'd be probably happier with that for that reason. If it's just gravel, then either one would be fine, but I think for off-roading purposes, probably the 010 is going to be a better fit for a lot of people. So I just thought I'd share that with you, and enjoy the rest of the day. Cheers.